If anyone is coming to Dominican Republic, at your own risk. They are racist, they're very segregative, they are horrible, there's language barrier, they are just terrible people.
I'm bleeding, this guy's beating me for no reason, man. Look, this guy's beating me for no reason. He's beating me for no... Look, man, look, I'm bleeding for no reason. Man, I'm gonna sue you. I swear I'm gonna sue you. You don't even know who I am. Man, look, I'm bleeding, man.
Here we are in Jamaica.
First time.
First time meeting. But I've seen the great work you're doing.
You're doing better than me.
No. I mean, we are in the Caribbean, so let's talk about the Caribbean. You're supposed to be out of Jamaica by now. But you're back. How did you get back here?
Oh, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And I think when we look at Africa and its challenges, it's one thing. But when you look at the Caribbean and its subtle, semi-civilized first world mindset. I mean, when you're coming here, you think you're going to be meeting progressive people who... Gavi is coming from here. Mali is coming from here, from this region. So you'd expect some certain amount of sensitivity to geopolitical, historical disadvantaging. But to have black people now sitting in positions of authority and reinforcing with power and force the draconian laws of colonialism, unbelievable. So I came in here because I was avoiding the visa ports, both in Europe, Middle East, and in America. I said I would get to Jamaica and use a non-visa route. After getting here, the conference finished on Friday. So Saturday there was no flight out. So I opted, let me get a flight into Dominican Republic, because then I could connect quickly into Guarulhos, and from Guarulhos straight into Sao Paulo, and I'm out of here. And to my shock and dismay, I was detained in Dominican Republic for 4 days.
4 days?
Denied food, water to bath and to drink. I was denied a bed to sleep. I literally sat on the bench for 4 days. I bought 4 tickets to go back home, and all those tickets expired with their instructions.
How was the experience like being locked up for 4 days, man?
I think it is slave trade on steroids. That you can be having credit cards in your hands. You can be a door. Literally from where they locked me up, the door which was selling food was like where that tree is. And they would put guards here not to make sure that I don't go there and buy food.
My goodness.
And just sit there. My embassy called. They wrote a letter. I can show you the letter to release, but they just said their own ambassador for Dominican Republic, who is in Cuba, liaised with my embassy to say release that man. They still refused. So I became a prisoner in the Caribbean. And where I was, by the way, Domingo means the dogs of God. And this is the place where also the slaves will arrive and be kept in prisons there, and then distributed in parts of the Caribbean, including here where we are.
Hi guys, welcome to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren and I'm Maureen. Yeah, so today we are going to be sharing with you a video of an African man, to be specific, a Kenyan man who went to Dominican Republic, and he shared with us his experience in Dominican Republic. And from his video, we get to ask you guys, are Dominican Republics racist? And if they are, what will it take for them to recognize that they truly are racist, for them to change their ways? Because some of you, our fans, I am sure you're quite familiar with this family. I'm sure most of you know about Dimwango, and I'm sure most of you know about Ayamara. So Ayamara is Dimwango's brother, and this is a family of YouTubers here in Kenya who stay in the village, but they've traveled the world. So Mara, the older brother, had gone to Dominican Republic some years back, and not long ago. It was quite sometimes back, 2018. It's very recent, it's not a long time. And he went through some experiences, but we can show you better than we can tell you. Let's play the video, and then we come back and discuss.
Wow.
No, ¿qué lo está grabando? Déjame ver. ¿Qué pasó? Déjame ver que te está grabando, déjame ver.
Bleeding. This guy's beating me for no reason, man. Look, this guy's beating me for no reason. He's beating me for no... Look, man. Look. I'm bleeding for no reason. Man, I'm gonna sue you. I swear I'm gonna sue you. You don't even know who I am. Man, look, I'm bleeding, man. So guys, let me explain. So I had my GoPro. Here's my GoPro. I was just walking in the streets, so I was just filming, you know, just doing my thing with my GoPro. So all of a sudden, I'm telling you, all of a sudden, like in a split of seconds, some guy with no uniform actually came to me and said, hey, what are you filming? So I had my GoPro like this, and I looked at this guy. I thought he's just a civilian who wants to rob my camera actually. So I held my camera like this, you know, and he pulled me and he pushed me, and the other guy was there, and they were harassing me on the street. Not like harassing me, you know how they hold you and they put you like this. And they were actually municipal police right there. There were like 4 cars, so all of them came with guns, with everything. They started like pushing me, telling me, you keep quiet, pulling my cameras, pulling my bag, pulling everything. So me, I just chilled, you know. So I went inside the car. So inside the car, this guy started asking me. So, you know, even they have not told me my problem. You know, they have not told me what have I done wrong. They have not told me what law I've broken or anything. This happened in Dominican Republic, and this city is called Santiago. And the municipal police, which is down here, where I live actually, it's like a walking distance, I realize. So there were like 2 cars of police, okay? So the first car was ahead of us, and me, the arrested guy, in another car. So I was with 4 other policemen. Actually, they're municipal police, not even national police, you know? So me, I just chilled because I was like, I've not done anything wrong. Like, I was just smiling actually. So the guy who was seated next to me tried to hold my GoPro and tried to record. And he realized he was recording himself. Then he was telling me, hey, delete that. I told him I can't delete. Delete that. I have to put in my computer. Because I have to go to the computer and delete it because I needed some evidence, you know. So they checked my bag. They got my big camera, which I'm filming right now, Canon 70D. They got this guy checked, and he was like, no, this guy is just a photographer. He's doing his own thing. Just let him go. But the other guys were like, no, we have, I don't know if they talked because I didn't understand what they were saying because they were talking very fast, and they said, so we're gonna take him to the station. And they tried talking to me in Spanish. I didn't speak Spanish at that time. I couldn't speak Spanish because I knew if I spoke Spanish, they may bring many conspiracies, which even, so I spoke English 100%. So we arrived at the station, the first car parked, the second car, which I was, so the policemen in the second car, like they had chilled with me, they had no problem, so they were like, even I thought they just want to say, you know what, you walk away and just go, because they realized like I'm not doing anything, you know, anything wrong. So the 2 other guys came from the other car and they were like, where is that guy who we arrested, where is that guy? And the other police told him, this guy has nothing, man, just let him go. Some 2 guys insisted, one guy with a gun, actually a long gun, and with a uniform, and one guy who is a civilian. So they pushed me and they were like, we're gonna take you inside there. And actually they were, you know how you, like how people arrest people like Osama bin Laden? You know how like they tight you, they hold you here, and another one is holding you here. Man, it was like that, man. So me, I just chilled, man. I just chilled. I was like, you know, let's go where you're taking me. So we go and we arrive at the door, like at an entrance, and the first thing I know is there was a short guy who had no uniform, pushed me like this and hit me really hard, like really hard, until my whole mouth tongue, actually even my ear right now, I'm having problems, man. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened, you know? Me, I'm like, and you know, it came as a surprise. I was like, what the fuck just happened, you know? And that's when I realized this could be something more serious than I think. So actually they had given me back my GoPro, so I had it in my hand and I started filming. And actually I didn't film the slap because I didn't know it was coming, you know? And that's the time I filmed and told him, you know what, I know my rights, I'm gonna sue you. And I pointed the camera towards him, and I showed, there were ladies in the room, I showed them, why is he beating me? And that's the time the guy disappeared. Then he came back after minutes when I was making noise, you know, I was like really shouting, telling him, you can't do this to me, you can't, like I know my rights. And I was holding my camera like it was everything. So when they realized that, other people came and they were like, why did you beat him? So they were asking the guy, why did you beat him? And that's when the guy felt so cold. And one of them told me, you know what, you just need to leave, just go. We don't need you here, just go. And that's how I got released. So as I was walking, I was just so mad, man. And I was like, I wanna sue you. And the guy, and that's how they left me, man.
So guys, you've watched that, and we really would like to know your opinion on this matter. One thing I have to say is that Dominicans, you need to do better. But one thing I can commend the other people for is that at least you see some humanity, because there are some people who stepped in and they were like, why are you beating this guy? Yeah. And from how he's narrating his story, there's nothing wrong he actually did on the street, and the way he was being treated, you could have thought that he was a wanted criminal who was finally being caught. And one thing I'm happy about in this day and age is the development of social media. People are now being able to come out and tell their stories, and through these stories is when by highlighting more and more of these stories and what is happening in the Dominican Republic, I believe is how change is going to come to this nation. But my question is, where is your humanity? You know, because for you to just mistreat, it means there are cases that have not been reported, because luckily he is a YouTuber and he was able to document his own story, put it up on the internet. For at least that provided him with comfort, because you heard him say, I'm going to sue you. Although I don't feel like that would have been, because you know, you're a foreigner in this country, you don't intend to stay there forever. So even wanting to sue them, it's going to be more of a burden on your side. So it's like they do this knowing that they'll get away with it. My question is, what about the the citizens who stay in that country and face this kind of racism and aggression for having dark skin?
Exactly.
You know, me, the biggest problem I'm seeing with these footages is that most people, even in our comment section, Dominican Republic people, I know not all of them are racist, but most comments you'll see is of Dominican people insisting that there is no racism whatsoever in Dominican Republic, meaning they are disqualifying such stories or the accounts of such people, of people who are darker than other Dominican Republics. They're disqualifying these cases by saying that racism is not in Dominican Republic. One thing I can tell you for sure is the only way you can experience change, and I tell you this for free, the only way you're going to see change and the only way you're going to experience change is when you finally admit that there's a problem in your society, and you actually work towards changing this. Because otherwise the question I'm asking is, what kind of society are you building for your children? Because I can imagine the black community or the dark-skinned people who suffer in silence, and it's not only dark-skinned people, because if you watched our previous episode that we've just posted, there are mulattoes also who speak on the same issue. The kind of name Dominicans are used to describe the hair any mulattoes with hard hair like mine, you know, the hair that is not silky. So they're describing them with such degrading words, you know. And it's giving them. There's one lady who was talking, we played her on the previous video, and she was describing how it creates an everlasting damage to a child's brain. And imagine if that was done to her as a child. She was being called some funny names that made her grow up with issues, and that is just a child. So you can imagine the kind of society you're breeding for the generation and the people who live there. Yeah, because in the video that we've just done, some mulattoes were even saying that you'll hear grown adults comfortably sitting where they're sitting, telling women who are of age to be married to marry white men so that they can, guys, surely enhance their genes. Okay, I don't know. Dominicans, this ball is actually in your court. You know how to explain this better because most of you know how to get out of this situation. But Dominicans, all Dominicans, white Dominicans, dark-skinned Dominicans, mulatto Dominicans, is there racism in Dominican Republic? Because in my own view, from these videos that I'm watching and that are being sent to me, there is racism, there is colorism, all of this combined is just bad. Because in Africa, yes, I won't sit here and pretend that Africa doesn't have colorism. Because yes, even in our country we do have colorism, but it is not to this point of what Dominicans are doing to black
Imagine
people.
someone being attacked on the street just because they're black.
Just because they're black.
Keep in mind, they took Maro to the police station, never told him his crime. Never warned him against anything. They just started harassing him and
beating him up. And thank God Mara is someone who knew how to talk for himself.
Because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, Maury, I can't even. I've just gotten chills trying to put myself in Mara's shoes. God forbid. If it were me and Maureen in that situation, to be honest, I feel like they could have killed me because I don't think I've learned how to speak up for myself in a foreign country.
YouTuber spoke up for himself against.
I've never gone through
policemen
racism.
of lighter complexion, or if they consider themselves white, I don't know what they are.
Right.
But he knew how to defend himself, and it is because of that fracas people came to witness what was going on, and he was let go. You get? But what of those dark-skinned people who don't know how to speak up in a manner this guy spoke up?
And the fact that this police officer disappeared immediately,
He started recording.
He knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew what he was doing was wrong. So you guys, I don't know. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section. Remember to subscribe if you've not. And we want to hear from everybody, guys. Let's contribute to this topic. And I feel like the only way you fix a society is by tackling head on the issues that are affecting or eating away at your society.
Yeah, because you know, one thing you can say about America, at least they show you their racism, and sometimes the black Americans make you aware of the fact that there is racism in America. But the most dangerous thing about the Dominican Republic is that nobody is willing to admit that there is racism, and you don't even hear the black or dark-skinned Dominican Republicans speak up about these issues. And if they do, they are quickly shut down as if they're doing something
Or
wrong.
as if they're crazy. Because the first time I heard about racism in Dominican Republic, I won't lie, it was from a foreigner, not a person from Dominican Republic itself. It was from a foreigner. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just my experience. That is the first time I ever heard about racism in Dominican Republic. But
and that is why we are and will still continue to say that is the most dangerous thing about Dominican Republic, the fact that they're not able to admit that there is racism and work on what their faults are. They'll still, and I know some of them will still come at us with, oh, you're black in Africa, shut up in Africa, stuff like that. I know.
We've been told to shut up in Africa.
We've been told we are just blacks from Africa. What do we know? Shut up in Africa.
That was our very own brother, actually a guy from Kenya, a country where we live in, and he went all the way to Dominican. Since he's a content creator, he was at least able to
that.
Yeah, and that
recorded it.
That is his experience. You can't say he made anything up to make Dominican Republic look
he even
bad
showed his bloody mouth and bloody hand.
So you can't say he orchestrated all that event to
Just
make Dominican or to make Dominican Republic look bad. So
Dominicans in Dominican Republic, all of you should work towards admitting that there is a problem in Dominican Republic and working towards fixing that problem.
We'll leave it at that. Let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. Leave a like for this video. You can also remember to share with someone you think is going to benefit from this video and will appreciate. Subscribe. Let's see you on the next episode. Bye.